Good morning. This is Aline, and this is my West Garden tour for July 1st. And I thought I'd start with Jester and Kima, who are watching me closely through the gate. And our newest addition is Alaire. She's the one laying by the shed. And she is not destined to stay with us forever, but we'll be growing her up to go to her new home in New York City. And that's her sister Harper, who's going back home with her owner. She's just here for a visit. There have been a lot of additions to the garden. This one you saw, it now has a fountain. The fountain came with more nozzles than that. Well, that doesn't actually have a nozzle. It's just the bubbler that's attached. But it spewed the water right out. So now it just makes a little bubble, but it keeps the water moving, I guess, enough. I haven't noticed any larvae in it, so I'm guessing it's okay. The tomatoes are growing. We'll see. We still don't know what they are, but they're getting there. The squash, the spaghetti squash, is dominating this area, and it's putting on fruit. So let's take a look at that. There are 1, 2, 3 just right here. There's another one over there behind that, and I know that there's one on the other plant. So there's at least 5, and who knows, there can be much more. Oh, see, there's a baby one just starting on top. Oh, and another baby one over here. So yeah, we're gonna be, once I figure out how to store winter squash, we're gonna have a lot of it. My dwarf corn seems to be doing okay, despite the fact that it's in shade a lot from the squash. And the corn, the tall corn is about 3 feet. So I guess by the end of July, we should be able to eat it. And I'm quite anxious to see what Martian corn looks like. So yeah, purple corn, blue corn, always fun. The Kajari melon is growing quite well. Not up to the trellis yet, but it will eventually. I planted a second one because the first seed I put in didn't come up, but the second one did. And so I'm happy with that. My herbs are doing better than they were. And the curly parsley looks like it's coming back. So that's good. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We're supposed to get rain later today, and I think that's why it's cooler this morning. Cool enough for me to actually be out here doing this video. That's a ground cherry that hasn't really taken off. We're just going to keep watching it. I know it's getting shaded by the squash some, but apparently they do grow slowly at first and then they take off. So there's grass in the beds. It's been so hot lately that I haven't been out taking as much weeding time as previously. So, all right, over here, the yarrow is blooming. It's a beautiful coral color. Thanks, Stephanie, for that. There's grass in this bed, and with the garlic, the runner beans have gone to town. And all the way to the top of the trellis. Hope you can see that. I can't from the sun. It'll still be a week or two, I'm guessing, before they could start flowering any time. As a matter of fact, the scarlet runner beans on this side have started to bloom. I was able to get plants started in that empty space. Of course, they're way behind and they haven't even come close to hitting the fence yet, but I think they will. It's going to be okay. I'm very excited about this because I think it's going to be beautiful. This ground cherry, which is an Aunt Molly, is doing much better than the one over there, which is a pineapple. And so we're quite anxious to start getting ground cherries soon. This one I know is chamomile, and that is, I think, I said it was calendula last time, and now I'm pretty sure it's Lacey Phacelia. But it could be something different. I don't know. I planted a whole bunch of seeds, so it could be anything. And this is the bed that's just for pollinating plants. Again, the Lacey Phacelia. What I'm hoping is calendula over there. This is a beautiful zinnia. I did a little weeding over here this morning. Also the beautiful zinnias and the marigolds, and then the Nordic Harms melons are still a little behind where I think they should be. This one is doing better, and this one is doing even better. It's hit the fence, and I'm just waiting for it to get slightly longer to twist it up into the next rung, and then hopefully we can get it going. The one on that end is also quite behind. This is a new decoration I gave my garden. The bell rings. Chamomile, little ones. The black cotton has grown quite a bit. It will get tall. This is the sunberry, which looks to be putting on blossoms. These are the cucamelons. They also a slow to start out plant, but once they get going, they apparently really get going, and they've gotten going. This is the Ildi tomato base that's starting to grow, but I don't know. The Kentucky blue runner beans are really starting to blossom out. The lima beans, however, have taken down my trellis. Well, the wind probably took down my trellis. It wasn't deep enough planted, but it still gives them some support up to the fence, and that's okay. They are blooming, so I should be getting lima beans soon. They're only 3 plants, I think, so there won't be a huge number of lima beans, but that's okay because Tierney doesn't like them. So these will all be for me. And this is our newest garden bed, which was the project that we had last week. The blocks are from Lowe's. They're less than $3 a piece, and the wood slides into the grooves. I bought 4 2x6x10s and had them cut into 6 and 4 foot lengths, and we just slid them all together. It builds in a snap. Filled it with dirt. I recently planted on this end by the trellis that I recently made out of mulberry twigs. I planted Armenian white cucumbers, which are actually a melon but apparently taste like cucumber. And then on this end I've planted sugar baby bush watermelons. I'm probably not going to plant anything else in this bed except for the Veronica, which are super pollen attractors, because the watermelons are going to take up so much space. The transplanted bee balm is blooming. The jury is still out on the lilac. Some of it is definitely suffering transplant shock, but I can't help but think it's still greener than it was by the house. And interestingly, there is nothing growing in that space. No weeds, no anything. So I'm thinking there's something wrong with that soil in that spot, and I don't know quite what to do about it. Thinking maybe putting planters in. We'll see. But we added a second lilac. This one Joelle White gave me after Ben passed, and we planted it in the backyard with the thought that it would be visible from my sun porch. Unfortunately, you know, it was in with the dogs. And despite the fact that I had a tomato cage around it, it mostly got chewed on, I think, by puppies and such. So it has not grown. It does not seem to have suffered at all from the transfer, except I see grass growing in the middle of it. So hopefully this one will thrive even if the other one doesn't. Anyway, there's just one more thing, and it's a sneak peek of what will be included in the East Garden tours in the future. The figs are in the ground. So I'm in the middle of my front yard, and this is one fig, and then the second one is closer to the corner of the house. Anyway, that's it. It's starting to get a little warm, and I'm going in, but thank you so much for watching.